Hi, my name is Britton Boughner. I am the former VSS here at the Lawrence Heritage State Park Visitors Center, and we're upstairs in the gallery space at the Visitor Center. And I have an exhibit here currently called, it's called Here and There, and it's land, city, sea, and spacescapes. So it's roughly about 100 pieces of all kinds of artwork, some oils, some acrylic, watercolor. We have some fabric pieces. I have some crewel pieces. So come by, check some of this out when you get a chance, and we're going to do a little tour of some of the material that is currently on display. Now, as a reminder, the gallery is open 7 days a week, 9 to 4. So stop by and check it out. It might be wise to call ahead of time to make sure that the space is available. But you're welcome to check it out for yourself. But we're going to take a little tour of some of the materials, some of the pieces in the exhibit. So the layout of this exhibit is, as you walk into the gallery, first of all, make sure you sign the book. That's always appreciated. We have a guest book that you can sign. So as you walk into the gallery, to the right, I have mostly landscapes. To your left, over here, are seascapes. So all along this wall, we have seascapes, some winter scenes, and the far end of the gallery, we get into some abstract because scapes, land, sea, city, or space, or could be something in your imagination. Landscapes are different to everybody, so it's always sort of like when you're looking at something, you may see it differently than somebody else, and just keep in mind that these so-called scapes are always changing, always evolving. So you see a piece of land, and then there's something that's there, maybe a house or a city, and then maybe the house is gone, and so that the landscape itself is returned back to nature. So landscapes are always evolving, always changing. So we start off landscapes, we have some seascapes, we have some winter scenes. So on this wall here we get into some spacescapes. So I have some cosmic art. I have a piece that I did myself for an art show that I think falls into this spacescape realm. And as you walk along this wall, you can check out all this spacescape stuff, and then we got all the cityscape over here, and various states of the city. We have some buildings, we have some people hanging out in the park. We have a section over here where it's all bridges. Bridges are part of a landscape. We have some views of the city. Some of these are prints, some of them are paintings. Again, we have watercolor, we have acrylic, we have some oils, we have some notable regional artists. We have John Northey, who was a well-known artist in this area. We have another gentleman by the name of Ackerley. We have some of his work here. So this collection, by the way, are pieces that I've been collecting over the years. I'm a collector, so this is my collection of roughly about 30 years of collecting art. And I'm always looking for new pieces to add to my collection, but as you can tell, I don't think I have much more room for these pieces. And so we have a reception, by the way, on coming up June 14th, 1 to 3, here at the Lawrence Heritage State Park Visitors Center. Come by, check out the artwork, enjoy some free food, and I hope to see you there. So I divided both the gallery space and the community room into two separate themes. So in the gallery space, it sort of evolves from landscapes and seascapes into the spacescapes and cityscapes, etc. So there's more of a flow in the gallery space than there is in, say, here in the community room. In the community room, I divided it up into basically 4 different categories. So what we have here is, while the art is more individualistic in the gallery, here in the community room, the artwork is more mass-produced, shall we say. So what we have here in the community room is we have some velvet paintings. So these is paint on velvet. So you may be familiar with the Elvis or the John Wayne or the dogs playing poker, etc. So I have a few velvet paintings in the community room. Also in the community room, we have some paint by numbers, which was a popular form of art that folks did starting in the 1950s up until today, where you get basically it's like a coloring book and it has the numbers in it and they fill in the different colors. So there's a collection of paint by numbers on the wall. And in addition, we also have a collection of photos, hand-colored photos from the early part of the 20th century. I have one photo in particular from a man, his name is Wallace Nutting. Some of you folks may be familiar with Wallace Nutting, who was a very popular photographer who basically took photographs of the New England countryside, and he had a team of what they called the colorists who would hand color the photographs. So we have an original Wallace Nutting, as well as a photograph from his protege, David Davidson. And then finally, we have some prints from Currier and Ives. Again, they were mass-produced beginning in the middle to late 1800s. And Currier and Ives, they started off by producing these lithographs that basically focused on disasters that had happened around the country, and then they were in Harper's Weekly, etc., and became very popular. People wanted prints, and so Currier, it started off as Currier, and then it became Currier and Ives when he added a partner, and they started printing scenes from America, winter scenes, all kinds of different scenes. You may be familiar with people skating on ice ponds, for example, or people in sleighs. Your parents or grandparents might have a few of these Currier and Ives prints up on their walls, or they did at one time. So yes, this is more of a kind of a mass-produced kind of art. So don't forget to check this out when you stop by to see the gallery. And once again, thanks for stopping in, and please don't forget to support Lawrence Heritage State Park Visitor Center.